Welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, the #1 crypto show on Rumble, of course, powered by our friends over at Solum Global, with your hosts, Lance Miliaccio and George Ballantine, the Crypto Bros. This is your ultimate deep dive into everything crypto, blockchain, and decentralized finance. We don't care whether you're a seasoned investor or a newbie just stepping into the world of digital assets for the very first time. We're going to bring you expert insights, top interviews, exciting new projects, breaking news, and game-changing innovations shaping the future of digital finance. Because on this show, in crypto, we trust George Ballantine. 7 a.m. for you, 5 a.m. for me. It's rise and grind, baby. We got to do this. We got our regular show. What's going on, buddy? How are you, man?
I don't know. It's Friday morning. I'm a little bit knackered still. I don't know why, but...
Knackered?
Yeah, it means tired, and, it's a British word.
Knackered. I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, you know some of that British slang, don't you?
I know a lot of fucking slang, baby. Yep. So I don't know.
Yep.
Lack of sleep, I guess.
We burn the candle at both ends. I was up till about 3 a.m. working on some stuff for George and I. I'm keep working on AI stuff. The more I dig in, the more I'm enjoying it. But at the end of the day, it takes a lot of time, especially in the beginning, working on some agentic stuff for George and I that I hopefully is going to help us a bunch. But in the meantime, lots and lots going on as always. And of course, I should add education to our intro. George's been doing an amazing job. We're doing these education pieces because, let's face it, this shit's confusing, man. This is not a regular crypto show. I mean, I know I watch a lot of the shows and they just talk over people's heads, and we don't want to do that on this show. We're a couple of guys from back east. We're not PhDs, of course. You guys have seen that in some of our pronunciations, that's for sure. But at the end of the day, we do the best we can to break it down into simple terms for you guys. What's going on, buddy?
Time out, bro. I identify as a PhD.
Oh, do you?
It's valid too. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I watched.
I got a partial psych degree, so it's got to be good for something, right?
Yeah, we had a little clip on the regular show yesterday about this woman that posed as a school board member because she was pissed off that they were letting boys into the girls' bathroom with some weird DEI stuff. Whatever, no big deal. Whatever.
Oh, she identified as a school board member.
Yeah.
By the way,
school board member, right?
By the way, that was Wednesday. We didn't do a show yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's Wednesday. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Swung on my dates. We took some time off because we thought the news cycle was ho hum.
He was tired. Don't let him.
Well, I was tired, but it wasn't only that. There are times.
We took a day off, bro. It's all right.
No, but I got to give the truth to the audience sometimes. It's a struggle sometimes. We're trying to find you guys top stories. We're trying to find important information. I don't want to waste your time either. We don't do that on a regular show. We're not going to do that here. We don't want to waste your time. So, all right, on that note, we probably should dig in.
No. Sponsor, baby.
Oh, yeah, I got to do a little shout out for the sponsor, right? Yeah, of course I do. What am I thinking? Gold and silver, we love it. What's this? Yeah, it's the Prepper Bar, 62.2 grams of that luscious gold or silver. Of course, perforated, so you can break it off into small pieces to make a payment, a small, a medium, and large. Great solution. Better than walking around with a 1 ounce coin and some tin snips. I mean, what are you going to do? Because of the U.S. dollar, we're $40 trillion in debt. Our interest is now, $1 trillion. Can you imagine? Seems ridiculous. You would hope this administration is going to fix it. But that's why gold and silver is on a tear. Great opportunity, a great way to diversify. And I don't care what's for its asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or in the case of the Prepper Bar, it's very unique utility for barter and trade. It's a perfect gift. Who the hell's not going to want some gold and silver? I still have gold and silver my dad gave me when I was a child. The point of the matter is hold it, keep it, just in case, right? In case everything goes foobar, you want to make sure you got a backup plan. Head over to thebigmigbar.com. That's thebigmigbar.com. And yes, we've had a couple of questions. Again, they come with an assay report. There is no counterfeit gold coming out of Genesis Gold Group. No counterfeit gold and silver. Yeah, there is counterfeit gold and silver all over eBay. Comes with an assay report. They've got them in stock. They just got to restock in gold. Available now, but I can't tell you how long they'll be available for because there's a lot of shortages coming up in the precious metals market. You can see it. You can see what's going on in demand. Silver demand going through the roof. Thebigmigbar.com, all caps Prepper is going to get you 10% off on the silver, 5% off on the gold. PREPPR, that's PREPPR. Thebigmigbar.com.
Break me off a piece of that Prepper bar.
And I just want to let everybody know, I know they had some tech issues with that code Prepper in all caps. So if it's not working, send us an email at info@thebigmig.com. One of our viewers went to go purchase something last week, didn't work. I reached out to the CEO. I don't know if they fixed it. We should check, Lance, and see if they fixed it.
Yeah, well, I'll check with Jonathan after the show today. Absolutely. Definitely want to stay on top of that for you guys.
Or you can just buy me a gold prepper bar and put the code in.
And make sure it works?
Yeah.
I mean,
you know my address, send it to my house.
Yeah, we could do that.
All right, thanks.
I wish we'd gotten them when they were a few more when they were $2,000.
Jonathan didn't want to give it up, man.
I know, he was extra tight. He was extra stingy on the gold. Now you probably could never get a gold.
No, forget about it. It's over.
Yeah, forget about it. All right. George has done a great job. We've got 12 trading tools for strategic crypto stock and ETF investing. You need the right tools. You need the right lessons. You need the right information. George, take it away, bro. Take it away.
Lance is doing less and less on this. It's fine. So we got, all right.
No,
listen.
you just throw to me when you want, but I like to let you kick it off.
I know. So we're trying to make it easier for you guys to trade, whether it be crypto stocks or ETF investing, whatever. But so there's a lot of tools. We're going to go over the 12 most important trading tools for you guys. Now, listen, there's a variety of trading tools that can help you out. They'll help you out stay more organized, more efficient. And when you're more organized and you're more efficient, everything will run smoothly for you. And it'll give you more time. And time is a valuable commodity, my friends. Different exchange features, I don't know, I'll give you things like trade orders and derivatives that can enable more strategies as well as a better risk management. We want you guys to be less risky and make more money. They even have visual tools. You ever see, like we always talk about, Lance will bring up the candlestick charts. That's Lance's thing. He loves them. And between that and patterns, that will help you guys identify trends, reversals, anything, any kind of momentum. If you just look at it real quick, look at the chart, boom, and you'll know.
And let me say this about charts. The thing about charts, the reason those are so valuable is they're historical. They go off historical records, and if you can look at patterns, there's always pattern recognition. Now, again, crypto's relatively new. The patterns aren't quite as extensive as you have in stocks, but there's no doubt that there are patterns that have occurred over and over again. And the idea is that you're going to learn from other people's experience and mistakes.
All right, so we got fundamental, technical, even sentiment analysis tools that are going to even give you guys data-driven insights, right? And this will help you, you traders out there. That's going to stay ahead of crowd behavior and market shifts. Yeah, stay ahead of them babies. Another great thing is your secure asset storage and tax reporting tools. Nobody likes to pay taxes. I get it, but gotta give a little bit, right? Just a little to them. Make them happy, I'm telling you. But this will help keep your portfolios protected and provide greater clarity for your long-term investors. Now, these investors, you'll gain greater access to information. Information is power, my friends. So you'll gain greater access to information and asset classes that need a strong set of trading tools. Every profession needs their tools, right? Carpenter needs his tools, plumber needs his tools. All you traders need your tools too, right? And I'm going to cover a range of trading tools that's going to help you make more informed investing decisions, but also going to keep you stayed a little agile and secure across different markets. Now, number one, all-in-one platform for multi-asset trading. Now, you'll see all you investors out there, they're active across multiple asset classes, right? They're all over the place. But using a single platform to trade crypto, to create stocks and ETFs. And this can help you guys streamline your process. You'll come up with a strategy and then even simplify account management. And I'm big on simplifying things. Keep it simple, stupid. That's my motto. I love it. Why complicate stuff? People want to complicate things. And it's just, you know what? Just ain't right. Don't complicate it. Now, this setup we're going to go, you're going to love it. It's going to give you native traders branching into, you have your traditional markets, as well as your stock investors looking to manage digital assets alongside equities. Now, you'll see there's different platforms. You have Kraken, Binance, Coinbase. They'll bring crypto and traditional assets together in one place. They're going to offer access to over 11,000 U.S. stocks and ETFs alongside a robust crypto trading interface. Now, what are you going to say? Well, why does that matter? Well, if you're going to manage your diverse portfolios all in one place, how much simpler and easier that's going to be for you. How much more time you're going to save. Now, we're going to talk about derivatives trading for dynamic markets. What is derivatives? Well, derivatives they're a trading tool. They're designed to operate on how asset prices move. They can include futures, inside futures, which allow you to speculate on an asset's price movement. Maybe you think it's going to go up. Maybe it's going to go down. I don't know. You got to check. But without needing to buy, sell, or own the asset itself. How big is that? You can track it, but not even have to own it yet. What's that going to mean for you traders that could potentially profit whether the market moves up or down? These derivatives will allow traders to gain more flexibility when you manage your risk and to hedge their exposure against unexpected price fluctuations. Because listen, you got to face it. Prices go up, prices go down. It could be a big dip, could be a big buy, but we're going to get you ahead of that. We're going to keep you flexible and keep you buying or selling. We're going to keep you making money. And Lance, it's all about making money, baby. That's why derivatives, they can be especially valuable for active traders that are actually looking at, you want to fine tune your exposure or build more advanced strategies. Listen, you want to build portfolios up, you want to get people to invest with you, whatever you want to do. It could be just for the single person. It doesn't matter. This is for anybody. And anything where we always say that you can streamline your process, you're going to be ahead of the game. Lance, I know this is your thing, candlesticks. I'm passing this to you. I'm going to put the chart up. Go for it, baby.
Yeah, and there's just it's not. Let me say this too. Arbitrage is introduced, and when you're looking at platforms like Kraken Pro, yeah, and George has made a comment that he probably doesn't even realize how over the target he is, even when he said it a couple of times. The platforms that are going to allow you to do all your investments in one spot, it's kind of like having a wallet, as George has pointed out many times. To have a wallet that would allow all the tokens, all the chains on it. We still don't have anybody doing that. You still have a problem. Assuming that you want to do the wide range of projects that are out there, you have to have multiple wallets. And especially if you want to get into the meme coin world.
Well,
Remember, none of this is financial advice. I don't mess around with meme coins. I think they've kind of lost their luster. I think a meme coin with utility has potential, but there are not a lot of those projects. A lot of them are just for fun. And of course, pump and dump is the name of the game. The people that founded those projects, they're looking to just make a hit, and they look for the most viral, popular product, and then they come out with pump fun, and they go create a token, and hopefully they hype it up for a very short period of time. But sometimes it's hours, and the people make money, and sometimes it's a lot shorter, even minutes. Let's talk about patterns. Pattern recognition. There are classes on it for Wall Street. There's open jaw patterns, and there's megaphone patterns, and there's all these overlays, and you're like, what the hell is all this stuff? Start out slow. You're looking for, and if you look right there on the chart, you can see they like to call it, a green candlestick, right? Or a red candlestick. But those entry points mean a lot. So when you talk about candlesticks and charts, these are basically, you're talking about fundamental trading tools. These represent price movement. So they use distinct visual segments tied to specific time periods. And the reason those visuals, a lot of times, if you're busy and you're working on a terminal, sometimes having a visual is much better than having to look at the data scrolling. So that's why people use visual overlays. So in the case of Kraken Pro, there's 4 key pieces of information that can come into the visuals. The open, the price when the time period begins. So you might have gone in at, let's say, 7 a.m. in the morning, and maybe XRP was $1.45, let's say. And then the close, the price when the time period ends. You might have seen later that the XRP ended at 153. You could see the highest for that day. It might have had a high of $1.58, let's say, hypothetically. And that's basically the high is the highest price that it reached during that same time stretch. Now, that time stretch can be done in minutes. It can be done in hours. It can be done in 24 hours. It can be done in weeks, months, years. You're not really limited. So, of course, the low is the lowest price reached during that time period. And each one of those, if you see those movements, those indicate a green upward movement, or in this case, they kind of look pink, but they're actually red. Normally, you would see a pattern in red. They don't normally do pink. But the point is so you see kind of the wick of the candle, and that high is the close. You see that? You see where it kind of does that pattern. So that tells you a lot about it. And that body shows the range between its opening and its closing price within that given period of time. And those wicks, they reveal the highest and lowest price of the asset reached during that period. So together, those are critical pieces of information, and they're going to help traders visualize the direction and size of a given asset price movement. So if you look at a candlestick, it won't be confusing any longer. Now you'll understand what those little weird shapes mean. And of course, interpreting candlestick patterns, that takes more time. That's the key skill, right? And that's where technical analysis comes in, especially in fast moving markets. You start doing options and calls and puts, that kind of thing, you really have to be on your game, and you have to really know a lot about it. Now, futures, you're playing for a future price in the market, but people make those entry points and they get rid of, they dump their shares or dump their crypto depending on those moving markets. These aren't hodl people. These are people that are trading, using, some of them are using high frequency trading bots that might go off this candlestick pattern. They might go off of something else. An open jaw pattern might, give you the opportunity that there's an opportunity coming up, or a breakout. There's a mean that you can lay over the top of these patterns, and that mean can kind of tell you, hey, it just broke through a new low. It could go lower, or hey, it bounced off that low. It's potential based on historicals that it's going to go higher again. So that interpretation in fast moving markets is the real trick, right? But the visual clarity that charts provide or candlestick patterns provide is going to make it easier to spot those signals. Now, that you might look at raw numbers and be like, God, I don't know. I'm looking at these numbers. I don't know what the hell it means. You look at the raw numbers alone without a visual aid, I think it's extremely difficult. Normally, when I look at stuff, I'll look at the visual aids additionally. If I'm working on, doing some stuff with trading bots, I'm looking at the way they're doing overlays. Now you'll see, if you guys have been paying attention online, to the swarm technology. Swarm is a different version of looking at a pattern, but it's looking at the movement. Some of it could be social media swarm. What's the social media reaction online to the Clarity Act getting passed, as an example? All that stuff comes in and it turns into this. So the point is, identifying is not enough. It's acting rapidly. So a lot of these trading platforms, you might say, hey, if Bitcoin hits this, then I want you to do this, and it will automatically execute a trade. Let's say Bitcoin is at 70,000 as an example, and you think that if it goes, maybe that's a barrier. Maybe you see a lot of resistance at the $70,000 level, but it breaks through to 70,050 cents. You could put a signal in there, and that signal could trigger a purchase. Even if you're at work and you're like, hey, if it goes to $7.50, I think we're going to hit 72,000 on Bitcoin, and I want to jump in. So the point is, that's one of those things. Of course, they're helpful tools, but of course, experience is always going to help you, and that's what analytics and portfolio insight tools do. So that's the next topic I want to talk about. Fundamental analysis. A lot of people talk it like FA if you're reading an article. So be aware of capital FA. That means fundamental analysis. And those tools are going to evaluate the assets underlying the value. They're going to track data like trading volume, earnings, market sentiment, sector performance, macroeconomic conditions, like if the unemployment numbers are coming out, if the Fed lowers interest rates. That's going to help a lot of long-term investors determine whether an asset is potentially undervalued or overvalued. Warren Buffett literally made hundreds of billions of dollars using this kind of analysis. And of course, it's going to add that conviction for you. Because listen, that's the hard part, getting past your emotions. Knowing that a signal means something, and not because you love something, just staying the distance. It's when you become a day trader using a lot of these kind of fundamentals, you have to become less emotion. You have to withdraw your emotion from it. So technical indicators, on the other hand, they're going to analyze those historical price data, and they're going to look for those patterns that I just mentioned a minute ago, and the potential signals that are triggered. So technical indicators, there's relative strength index, which is RSI, so relative strength index. You've got moving average convergence and divergence. That's capital MACD. So you've got convergence and divergence when it's actually going out of a pattern. Bollinger Bands, those help traders assess market momentum, volatility, even possible trend reversals. Like I said a minute ago, you could see that you're having resistance at a certain level. Doesn't matter whether it's a stock or crypto, and that might trigger the fact that it's going to reverse in price. That could mean, that could be a signal for you to exit the market. And of course, these tools are built into Kraken Pro and other platforms. The Bloomberg terminal is another one, but it's really expensive. But I can tell you, if you go look up open source Bloomberg terminal, somebody just cloned the Bloomberg terminal, and it's free. Now, you can find a lot of crazy stuff on GitHub. It would shock you. So those technical analysis, widgets, we'll call them, allow traders, they're always going to be able to scan different indicators. So you can look for oscillators, moving averages, and that's all done in real time. So you can more easily spot when momentum shifts or trends begin to strengthen. So it's the real market, because by the time it shows up on MSNBC or CNN or one of the marketplaces, that data and information is old. And old could be milliseconds. In the case of crypto, milliseconds are a big deal. If you're looking at the Binance terminal and you're looking at the lag within the Polymarket terminal, you're going to know there's about 15 milliseconds of lag. That can be an opportunity to enter a market. But the point of the matter, that's what you're looking for. But this kind of stuff is going to take away data being crunched manually to being data being crunched automatically. So beyond the fundamental and technical analysis tools, all the portfolio insights allows trader to more easily track. And we talk about it a lot, diversification, because that's also what your risk exposure is about. So maybe let's just talk hypothetically. Let's say that you came up with this diversification, or your financial advisor did. And he said, I want you to hold 60% stocks, 20% bonds, right? That's 80%, 10% crypto, and 10% in cash reserves in a money market fund. Now, that risk is always determined by the time when you're going to retire. If George's going to retire, say in 10 years or 15 years, he might say, well, here's what I want. I'm willing to risk more capital now. So I'm willing to go 50% stocks and 30% crypto. The point is, he might decide that he wants to take a higher level of risk. That's what these tools will do. They'll kind of show you in a pie chart, if you want it like that. A lot of them have selections. You can show a graph, you can show a pie chart, and it'll show you the diversification. So let's say you wanted to buy some actual bullion. You want to buy gold and silver. You might talk to your financial advisor, say, hey, I know I've got 5% in money markets, but gold and silver has been outperforming money markets like crazy the last 2 years. I want to buy some actual bullion that I can hold in my safe. Can we add that diversification to the portfolio? He might try to talk you out of it. He might say, hey, great idea. Let's do that. They say right now copper is way undervalued. You might say, well, shit, I want to hold some copper, because they say that there's going to be a major shortage in copper. So when you look at this, traders, you're going to use these fundamental analysis. You're going to identify strong, potentially undervalued investments or cryptos or bonds. Then they're going to use technical analysis to pinpoint an optimal entry point. Because just because you looked at NVIDIA stock today at one price, you might say, I don't like NVIDIA at today's price, but if it drops to this price, I love it. I'm going to put this much and say, if this happens, I want you to execute a purchase immediately on my behalf. You could do that. And the point is, that's the great thing, because, we talk about it a lot. It's hard to watch these freaking markets, man. 24/7, 365 in crypto. I mean, the stock market says they're going to be going to that, but the point of the matter is, this is happening where you're going to be looking at 24-hour time periods. You can't be up 24 hours. I mean, unless you're a meth head, maybe, and then you're only going to be good for a couple of days. And I'm not recommending that you use drugs to trade. I'm saying that that's the problem. Now, and then you have to add this major piece. We see it. And George, we have talked about this so many times, social media influence, where people get panicked. Or people are like, oh my God, they watch some video that's fake, by the way, it's AI, and they say, oh, this guy's dead, or this guy's alive, or they just struck the U.S. Eisenhower. All this stuff comes into it, right? It's the same thing with these kind of commodities.
Bunch of keyboard experts or social media experts.
And it's tricky, right? So there is real-time social sentiment, and it sometimes is triggered by real news. So investor emotions, like fear and uncertainty, and doubt. So fear, uncertainty, and doubt, we call that FUD, right? Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. And then, of course, you got the fear of missing out. Oh, my God, why didn't I buy Bitcoin when it was thousandths of a cent? I could have been a billionaire. Or for the person, I saw a guy that bought Bitcoin at a very cheap price and sold it and made a couple of $100 and was very happy with his sale. And he ran the numbers the other day, and if he had not sold it, he'd have $358 million right now. That individual is definitely having some fear of having missed out on the opportunity. He's probably not sleeping at night, but that happens. And when you're looking at traditional finance and DeFi markets alike, any of us can look back and go, why didn't I buy Chipotle when it was first out? It was so cheap before they got bought out by McDonald's. Why didn't I do it? It happens. A lot of people have had stocks they sold, and if they just held, there are people that bought NVIDIA and sold, and made some money and sold right away because they thought, well, I'm up 100 grand, I'm just going to sell. If they hadn't sold, they'd probably have 500 million in revenue right now. It's hard not to do that. So when you start tracking overall sentiment, and and you can get a valuable edge from it, you have to really watch that you don't get sucked in, because real-time social sentiment They quantify how the markets feels, and sometimes it's a snapshot of optimism, fear, or even uncertainty at any given moment, and that can happen. You know, George, we talk about this. We can look at a story that George and I cover on our show. Everybody's like, "What the hell is this story?" And then 3 days later, the rest of the media world jumps on board the story, and then it's everywhere. It's not because George and I were geniuses, it's just because we're scraping a lot of data all over the place. The point is, the sentiment changes when it goes from just Lance and George on the Big Mig show. Yeah, we've got a loyal subscriber base and a loyal viewer base, but when it ends up on the New York Times, well, of course that changes it, right? Or if it ends up on Fox News, it changes the sentiment. So fear and greed, that's the real index. It's always connected. So there's lots of data points. And don't forget, people put out false information. Some people want to drive Bitcoin's prices down because they're shorting Bitcoin, as an example. They're shorting a stock. They don't want it to go up. So they might go out and put a bunch of bot posts out, a bunch of negativity. They might jump on, oh my God, Epstein probably was the Satoshi Nakamoto. Not true, but that's probably the kind of thing that you can see happen. Did he have involvement in Bitcoin? It looks like he did. Looks like he had some involvement, but should that impact the market long term? I don't know if it does. That's one of those things you won't know till the market really, settles. So these kind of indexes are going to help present real-time sentiment in the market, whether it leans towards risk-taking, right? Psychology and momentum, they're going to amplify price swings. And there's a lot of platforms that will go deeper into market emotions. But I would tell you, stay with some basic platforms to begin with, because you can turn on some of these platforms, and George, you and I have discussed this so many times, and you look and you're like, holy shit, what is all this stuff? I don't know how to use any of it. And it's overwhelming, and that might just make you stop using it. And I would never recommend that. Let's talk about price alerts, George.
Price alerts. Yeah, I just want to touch on something about analytics. So whenever you have the availability or tools to get good analytics, it's very beneficial, because you're talking analytics can give you so many different inputs of information if they have it set right. And you can get demographics, age groups, male, female, married, not married, so many different things. So analytics, in regards, but you can say analytics now in trends in the market. There's so many different varieties, but it's key to have great analytics. One of the better tools that I like using. So you're talking about, now Lance just said, what about price alerts? Do they help strategic market moves? Well, listen, if somebody says there's a good price, things might go up or it could go down, depending on the sentiment of the people. Timing matters in crypto trading. And any price alert tools that can help traders keep track of what is happening in the market. They'll notify you when an asset will reach a specific price level. So whether you could be sit there, I don't know, waiting for a breakout or selling up a reversal trade, or even, I don't know, you're watching a key support or resistance zone, whatever. But alerts will make it easier for traders to know when to act. Just like, look, your phone, right? You could I'll give you an example, your text messaging. You can set a different ringtone for a more important person, so you know it's them, versus your regular ringtone, because you know that's important. You want to get it. Just a great example. So
George has my ringtone set as Darth Vader's music.
Your ringtone is the same like everybody else, bro. When you set mine different,
Darth Vader, bro.
When you set mine different, you actually answer my texts on time or even read my texts, then we'll talk about putting a ringtone for you. How's that? Let's keep it real. I'll keep it real.
Quite as responsive.
I could text him, and he was like, "You text me," and the text will be there from like 2 days.
I don't know about 2 days.
No, but you haven't, bro. I seen your phone. You have texts you haven't even checked.
You're right.
You know when you have, all right, people. You know when you see all the badge counters for like emails or text messaging, when you see like 1,000, 10,000. That's my buddy here, Lance. I have another friend that does that. Like, I'm in the car, and I'm like, "Give me your phone." I got to fix it. It's pet peeve. I hate it.
Yeah, go ahead, man. You're right, though.
It's
And
crazy.
you're one of the ones I answer more rapidly.
Yeah, but listen. I just said it. But if you're going to set alerts around personalized thresholds, traders, you can monitor multiple assets without staying glued to the screen. Like, "Argh." This frees up what? What I say in the beginning. Time is the most expensive commodity. This will free up your time. What? It'll also help to maintain a strong pulse on the market movements. How can you beat that? It's perfect. Price alerts. I'm going to get that for Lance. You think if I gave Lance price alerts, would it matter? Since he doesn't listen to personalized text alerts. You know what? It would matter. I'm going to tell you why. Because if it comes to making money, Lance would be like, his eyes are bright open if that alert goes up.
You're right. You're right.
I know I'm right.
You know, the thing is, it's so much time in the day, and George, I actually do respond to pretty rapidly.
No,
But
you
there are a
don't.
lot of people I don't. It's true. Because a lot of people will send way too much dialogue over and over again. And I struggle with that because, of course, in our industry, we get a lot of people contacting us for all kinds of nonsense, too. It's tough when you have shows and you're in media because you get a lot of stuff that's just total BS. You guys know it. I mean, you've seen it. You get garbage in your emails. Can you imagine what our emails look like? Them trying to sell us services or trying to push us on interviews or this and that.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, we can go over a bunch of things. You know what, Lance? Maybe we should take a break. We'll come back to this.
All right. I think it's fair. Let's do
Yeah.
that. All right, listen, it's the Crypto Power Hour. Take the live link, share it far and wide. Tell your friends and family, a couple of back east guys breaking it down easy, so we're not going to have you guys struggling in the new DeFi world. We don't want that. We'll be right back with George Ballantine, Lance Migliaccio. Yeah, crypto we trust, baby. Stay tuned.
Oh.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.
All right, welcome back to the Crypto Power Hour, powered by Solum Global. Here we host Lance Migliaccio, yours truly, George Ballantine. We got the crypto mafia and army out there in the chat. If you get a chance, come join the chat. We'll welcome you properly. And if you can, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, like, follow, share. And if you can subscribe for $5 a month, we truly appreciate it. It helps out with everything. But you know what? I'm going to help you out with something. Because Lance and I, we got the perfect solution for the people that can't watch their crypto 24/7. That's right. Talking about BlockTrustIRA.com. They're bringing access to cryptocurrency wealth to everyday people. Their exclusive Animus AI trading platform works 24/7, analyzing market data and executing advanced crypto strategies that go far beyond buy and hold. Now, this was sophisticated technology once reserved only for Wall Street insiders. And I say was because now it's available to you. And it's no surprise. This system was named #1 technology platform by crypto technology platform by Bitcoin Magazine out of more than 1,500 global competitors. And our clients are already seeing over 250% returns on their investments, all with military grade security and up to $200 million in insurance. Your wealth is fully protected. So don't wait. Visit bigmidcrypto.com today and see how you can join this financial revolution. Once again, visit bigmidcrypto.com today and you get up to $2,500 of free crypto. I have the QR code on the screen. The links are all under the more section under the video. We got you covered during the chat. But go there later because we got some stuff to go over. We're going to finish our education piece. I know it's long, but it's good for you guys. We need it. We all need the education. Education will just make you smarter. So, trade order tools that we're going to help manage execution. Boom. Trade orders, what do? They're going to let investors define both how and when their trades are executed, which will actually give them proactive control over their strategy instead, listen, of reacting to every price movement. Now, Lance was talking about before, fear of missing out or whatever, all these things. You don't want to overreact. You don't want to underreact. You want to be like smooth on time. And this is how you do it. Now, some of these tools can be built into customizable interface that will actually support precise and flexible execution with even these fast flowing markets. Markets are moving fast. They're going to be moving faster. Now, Lance, what do you got? Now, I know a big thing is AI trading bots for anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
Well, this is going huge, of course. Now, you can use Claude Code, you can use Grok, you can use DeepSeek, and creating trading bots used to be impossible. We're talking about high frequency bots, those looking for opportunities. You see people using Claude agents, agentic LLMs, to look for opportunities to make money. And of course, unlike traditional trading tools, AI trading bots, they're going to leverage advanced mathematical algorithms and machine learning models, and they're going to execute strategies with remarkable speed and adaptability. Of course, they can be set up to constantly analyze vast amounts of data. And that's what Animus Technologies does. They analyze vast amounts of data for entry points in Bitcoin, as an example. What they can do is they can actually spot subtle patterns. They can adjust their approach in real time to optimize performance. And they're really effective. This is stuff that before would have been impossible. I've been working on this. I know a lot about it. I've become more and more experienced. And at some point, we might even do a show on this. But the point of the matter is, it's not as difficult as you think. So you can build and run your own custom trading bots. You can integrate with platforms like Bloomberg, Kraken Pro, Binance, Coinbase, Polymarket, Kalshi. All of these are integrations. Now, you're going to need APIs. You'll need a Polymarket account. There's a lot of steps to go through. You'll need hosting. It sounds overwhelming, but if you have AI lay it out for you, it won't be as hard as you think it is. It may take you weeks to fine tune the bot, but if you're successful, and I say if, you could be making money 24/7, 365. So I'm saying automation tools can offer an edge that you wouldn't normally get, and they can remove bias. They can get rid of that FUD or FOMO because it's not going to be emotional. It's just going to pay. It's going to buy and sell based on how you set it up. So you can do lots of research, lots of chat rooms. I would tell you to dig in because AI is here to stay. When it comes to financial instruments, there's no doubt that bots have an edge. That's why Wall Street has been doing high frequency trading for so long. Let's talk about pattern recognition and charting tools. It's what we talked a little bit about earlier, but you're looking for strong technical analysis starts with strong charting. These are tools that are going to allow traders to visualize price movements, draw trend lines. They can compare asset performances. They can make a decision between one asset and another, asset classes. Do you want to be in this asset class or another one? It can help shape those trading decisions that you have uncertainty. And then it'll allow a lot of side-by-side analysis. Bloomberg terminals got tons of it. This new free terminal I told you that's open source that you can get off of GitHub, supposed to be just about damn near as good as Bloomberg. A Bloomberg terminal costs $35,000 a month. You have got to be trading some volume to cover a $35,000 a month nut. So there are other tools out there. Look for these opportunities because desktop traders now have an opportunity to use advanced comparison charts, tools, pattern recognition features, and they can enhance their analysis as almost they're a professional trader. Again, not financial advice, but learning how to use this stuff, even to analyze and take a look at what your own financial advisor is telling you to do. Double check his work. See if it's accurate. You can dump it into AI and ask questions. All important. Let's talk about taxes. Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, I know. Taxes suck. Nobody wants to pay taxes, especially when you see them wasting the money, spending trillions of dollars on fake learning centers, fake autism centers, Medicare and Medicaid fraud, spending in government that you just don't agree with. But look, it's here. It's here. And for right now, we're stuck to it. And this will help you with your year-end filing. Crypto regulation is here. There's no doubt it's evolving. You got to have accurate retail tax reporting. You know, they want you to report a $500 or $600 payment on Venmo. They're going to be watching all this. So instead of waiting until the end of the year to sort through trade histories, which if you're doing a lot of trading can be a real bitch, these tools can automate the process and help make it easier to stay compliant. You got Coin Tracker, which integrates with exchanges to generate detailed tax reports. You can track portfolio performance and different accounting methods like FIFO, first in, first out, or specific IDs for specific events. Some of them even support international filing standards. Useful, check it out, Coin Tracker. Again, they're not a sponsor of the show. I just think it's a good product for this sort of thing. And then secure storage. We covered it many times on this show. We always tell you protecting your investments is a top priority. So cold storage solutions, hardware wallets, private keys, keep them offline. Don't send them to people in text messages. You know, have two-factor authentication. You really want to be, and again, seed phrases, you know, if you lose them, you're screwed the pooch. So that kind of stuff is absolutely crucial. We've had some previous shows on this channel, Crypto Power. Go find those shows, watch them, listen to them while you're on your work. We're on many podcast platforms, all the big ones for the Crypto Power Hour. Find the show, follow it. You can listen at work. Maybe you'll only pick up 10% listening at work, but it's still 10% you didn't have before. So if you're going to start trading cryptos and ETFs, look for these platforms that allow all these asset classes and find something that works for you that you feel comfortable using. But comfort takes time, experience, knowledge, dedication. It's all part of that. But this stuff's here to stay, man. I'm just telling you, get ahead of the curve because this is generational wealth potential in the near future.
Interesting. Good stuff. Good stuff. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. If not, you can always go back and watch it again. But you know what? Share this with your friends. Help educate them. Help, build our show so we can keep educating people. Because, listen, crypto's here to stay. It's going to be your go-to. Banks are out. I'm telling you. All right, Lance, maybe we should get to some news. I want to jump to this one story because I think it's a pretty much important.
George,
we always talk about this.
Go for it, buddy. Go for it.
We always talk about this. And it's funny that Bitcoin is the first to be saying this. Bitcoin deploys its first working BIP 360 implementation for what? On Bitcoin Quantum Testnet. We always talk about quantum. Who's going to be first to get ahead of that, baby? Because with quantum, it can take a lot. We're not talking about the old Bitcoin wallets here. We're talking about Bitcoin. So their testnet now it's their testnet 3.0. Now supports BIP 360's pay to Merkle root outputs. What does this do? It's going to remove Taproot's key path spending and force all UTXOs. Listen to this. This is pretty cool. Through a hash-based script path to reduce long exposure quantum risk.
That's cool.
Ain't it?
Yeah.
It's actually this. It's going to validate the full P2MR life cycle. Now, this is from address creation and funding all the way to signing, mempool acceptance and confirmation, all while preserving compatibility with Lightning, BitVM, ARC, multi-sig, and time locks. Interesting. You You would think others would have been ahead of this one, but I guess Bitcoin people are smart. Whoever's still running
Well, they got a lot of money at stake, you know. And this is so for you guys out there. This is big news because, of course, this is going to allow, that BIP 360 from a draft concept, which people have been talking about it, but nobody implemented it, into what I think BTQ describes as a usable, testable infrastructure. Now that's available to developers, miners, and researchers today. Now they just tested in a live environment. I don't think it's fully available yet, but this is the direct response to one of Bitcoin's most discussed long-term vulnerabilities: the exposure of elliptic curve public keys to quantum computing attacks. George, they may not allow you to get to take over Satoshi's wallet if they get this fully implemented. You better get moving.
Well, no. It's not gonna. No, I don't. It's not gonna equate to old wallets. You're gonna have to move that. Wallets are different. They have their different code and stuff. So you know that.
Well, this says that an estimated 6.26 million Bitcoin, which arguably might be 1/3 of the available Bitcoin that haven't been lost for one reason or another, roughly 440 billion at recent prices, sits in quantum vulnerable address types. That's big stuff, man.
It is. So I mean, look. Kudos to Bitcoin for being on top of this. I've been talking about this quantum. Who's going to be implementing these things to protect the measures? I'm curious. No, I'm curious to know. How do you know what you need to protect with quantum without having what it's really built upon? Think about that. Do you ever think about that, Lance?
I haven't, but I think when it comes to quantum, I think there's a lot of things I haven't thought about at this point.
I mean, I'm just curious what we just talked about with Bitcoin building this. Is it going to suffice? Will it be good? I mean, do they have quantum computers that they're testing it against? Who's got these quantum computers? Can I get one, please? I want to do it because they have a quantum computer. They might go after Satoshi's wallet themselves, and bastards. Leave me out of the loop. That's not fair. But I don't know. Well, we're going to keep going. I mean, kudos to Bitcoin. I'll say it again. But listen, we're talking about quant pricing now. And it actually jumped 10% after SEC's historic decision. 10%. It climbed from $69 and change to like $76 and change. This is all coming with bullish momentum, right? This occurred after the SEC announced that it would allow NASDAQ to support the trading of tokenized shares. This is interesting. What do you think of this, Lance? Is it going to be good? This happened what? This happened yesterday?
Yeah.
When the price experienced a rally with a 10% jump, right? It's interesting.
I think anytime regulation moves forward, I think it's helpful, right? I think at the end of the day, any uncertainty taken out of the marketplace is going to have a dramatic effect.
Yeah, we'll see. But we were talking about tools, right, people, earlier? So one of them is like here, they're saying about this technical indicators like the RSI and MACD and others. They're going to be justifying the technical factors that's behind this rally. So let's see. It's currently revolving around, what is it now? $68, I think $68 to $72 range. So what does this do? This indicates a good buying interest without reaching overbought levels. Lance, keep going. I got to do something.
Yeah, I want to tell you this. When you look at a move on a token like this, they're looking at the possibility of NASDAQ going more mainstream. And of course, the SEC even offering to get involved and making things easier for NASDAQ is a shocker, right? No more Gary Gensler, the weasel, intentional undermining of the cryptocurrency or decentralized finance market. So look, the crypto market's still facing a lot of selling pressure after that weekly rally. And of course, it's all macroeconomic factors that are pushing down. The Federal Reserve, just declared its decision to hold interest rates steady between 3.5 and 3.75. They say it's because of growing inflation and the global energy crisis due to the war between Israel and the U.S. and Iran. I think it's a strategic strike on the Trump administration. Let's face it, man. The Federal Reserve is making so much money, and the people that control it are not the U.S. government. So, Bitcoin plunge, you saw that, lots of trading activity. So anytime you see an announcement where a token's looking at something in a positive manner, like the SEC not restricting NASDAQ. I think it's a big deal. And I think approval for a NASDAQ tokenized securities trading is going to allow a lot of high volume stocks, even from the Russell 1000 index, and of course, major exchange traded funds. And they're going to be able to trade as digital tokens on the same order book as traditional shares. How is that not good news? And of course, all that settlement is going to be executed through the depository trust company. So this is going to create what I would call a regulated on-ramp, of course, for RWAs, real world assets, to go live on the blockchain. So, the quote is, and I'll give it to you this from Quant: tokenized deposits promise to transform banking infrastructure, but fragmentation could undermine the entire project. Every major institution is building its own protocols and compliance controls in isolation, reproducing the very inefficiencies they were supposed to solve. And that's true. You still have a lot of, because the regulation isn't finalized, the Clarity Act isn't finalized. A lot of people are trying to read between the lines. They're trying to use their lobbyists and people in the know in the administration to try to predictively say, well, this is where we think we're going to be, so we better start preemptively making these decisions. But are they going to be 100% right? Who the frick knows? With this administration, all bets are off. You really don't know what's going to happen. We've got a crypto pro president, but we still have many people in Congress that just don't know their, ass from an elbow. And at the end of the day, they're still making lots of bad decisions. And man, they are moving slower than molasses. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. I'd like to cover Arthur Hayes. You know him. He was a crypto billionaire. His value has gone down since some of the meltdown. One of the founders of BitMax. He just bet on ETHFI. Not a lot of money, not a crazy amount, but he has been extremely accurate when he makes move. And he just placed a bet into Ethereum FI, which is the token name is ETHFI, nearly a month after possible exit. He was going to leave, and he just bought another $73,000 worth. Now, not a massive move, but when Hayes makes a move, it's rare that he's not right. So it might be something to keep an eye on. You can see what he's done here in the trade. It's pretty open. But, he's making some big moves anyway. He just moved to pick up $250 million for his, his family office, which is basically his family financial group, to start investing in smaller startups. Maybe he saw what the guys over at FTX, we talked about SBF's investments, and had the federal government left him alone, those people that had invested would have made millions and millions and millions of dollars. He may have taken a look at that and said, man, I didn't realize how well he did. Maybe I need to do the same thing. So look, at this point, I don't know what to tell you about the price analysis. There's the chart, ETHFI, broken out of a descending trend line. That's what we talk about trends. If you see that green line there, that shows how it's a breakout. That resistance, that red line, is that resistance line I told you about. It hit the resistance line, it bounced off, and it went through the trend line. That's a strong technical indicator for MACD and, RSI. So that, you've got a little bit of mixed signals, but that shows momentum. So, there could be a key resistance level at 64, almost 65 cents. So this might be an opportunity. I don't know. The low was February 6th. It dropped all the way down to 38 cents. Again, not financial advice, but it might be taking a look at this because, man, Hayes is kind of an oracle. This guy doesn't make a lot of mistakes. Back when the market was just on fire, he was up to $3.6 billion in net worth. Now I think he's down to 500 or 700 million, down to only 500 or 700 million. Hayes is struggling, George.
I could see that because freaking Jerome Powell didn't want to lower the interest rates. Yeah. I think it's a political move because he's going to be out. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
He's saying he won't go out if he keeps getting pushed on. He's acting like somehow, and that's the problem. That's what I keep telling you. The Federal Reserve is a private institution. That's why Donald Trump can't just go in there and drag old wrinkly ass Powell's ass out of office. And
well, I think
controlling our money.
No, the Fed chair is, I believe, confirmed by Congress, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know
either. I don't like any of them.
You got to get rid of the Fed and
All
the
right.
Fed.
Take us out. We got to get ready for the show at 11 a.m. Big Mix Show.
It. Crypto Power Hour, baby. We're out of time. #1 crypto show on Rumble. Far and wide. Tell your friends and family. Hit that follow button, man. We're getting thousands of views. You guys are coming in. Hit the follow button today. It doesn't cost you anything. If you want to do the $5 subscription, fantastic. If you want to throw us a Rumble rant tip, fantastic. If you want to hit us a little, maybe 10 or 15 Bitcoin into our crypto wallet, God bless you. Please do it. All right. We love you guys. Follow us on social media. Go follow the sponsor of the show, Solum.global. Big moves coming out of the company. Kirk St. John will be joining us for an interview before too long. I don't know exactly timeline on it. Of course, check that out.
St. John's.
And don't forget, hit the follow at the Crypto Power. Follow G. Ballantine. Come on, you got to get those rugged good looks. Get over to social media. He's the boss. Hit G. Ballantine. Hit Lance Miliaccio, the baldness, the large baldness, and the Big Mig Show. Give us a follow. Cost you nothing. Take a few minutes. And don't forget, 11 a.m., join us for the Big Mig, fastest growing show on Rumble, baby. We out.
Peace out. See you at 11. Peace. Love you guys. And crypto we trust, yo.
Are you ready to stand up for your community and support your local sheriff? Join the Constitutional Sheriffs and Peace Officers Association and become a vital member of the Sheriff's Citizens Posse. At CSPOA.org, we empower citizens like you through weekly webinars, arming you with the knowledge to back your constitutional county sheriff. Together, we can uphold our Constitution and ensure liberty and justice for all. Your community needs you now more than ever. Visit CSPOA.org and join the Sheriff's Citizens Posse today. Make a difference. Stand for freedom. That's CSPOA.org. Your country, your fight, your future.
What if you could predict your financial future? And what if you could trade on it? Introducing Block Trust IRA, the future in your hands. An astonishing 88,000 millionaires were created last year from the Bitcoin boom, and you could be next. Block Trust IRA is the only crypto management firm powered by AI-driven strategies, ranked #1 in the world by Bitcoin Magazine. The Block Trust IRA platform is built for everyone, from first-time buyers to seasoned investors. Predictive AI technology that was once only reserved for insiders and elites is now available to you. It's time to leave the old buy and hold strategies behind. Your assets are protected with military-grade security, offline cold storage, and $200 million in insurance. Visit BlockTrustIRA.com to book your free consultation and ask how to claim up to $2,500 in deposit bonuses today. Bitcoin changed the game. AI changes the strategy.
Hi folks, I'm here today to introduce you to the Prepper Bar from PrepperBar.com, the most unique precious metals product we have seen in a long time. These 62-gram bars are perforated and easily broken down into your choice of 3 different sizes to fit a multitude of needs. Whether it be from asset protection from inflation, economic turmoil, or its unique utility for barter and trade, the Prepper Bar makes a perfect gift for all the precious metal lovers out there. Exclusively made here in the USA and selling out fast. Available in both gold and silver, these slim Prepper Bars fit neatly in your wallet, and their utility enables use in any situation.
Forged through rigorous training and honed by the finest instructors on Earth, these canine units serve beside our nation's warriors as they fight to preserve what we cherish. When these warriors complete their duty, the Warrior Dog Foundation provides them with a home deserving of the service they've given us all. At our state-of-the-art kennels, they receive rehabilitation and care suitable for heroes, because that's what they are. Be a part of giving them a future today. Visit WarriorDogFoundation.org.